If you keep your money in a bank account, listen up. Your savings could be at risk. The banking system is once again under extreme stress. Car loans are defaulting, credit card debt is ballooning, and commercial real estate is on the brink of collapse. These aren't just red flags, they are sounds of a financial ticking time bomb. But there is a safe and easy way to protect your financial future. Gold. Gold is historically safe from economic policies that jeopardize your wealth. Gold allows you to lock in today's value in the face of tomorrow's uncertainty. Don't wait for the next headline crash or bank run to act. Inaction could be catastrophic. Contact Noble Gold Investments today and safeguard your tomorrow. As a bonus, they'll give you a free quarter-ounce gold standard coin as a thank you for opening a qualified account. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to claim your gold coin. noblegoldinvestments.com. Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. It's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Inspired live stream. It is Tuesday, February 5th. It is Super Tuesday, February 5th, 2024. We're healthy, wealthy, whole, and free. And yes, we are winning. Welcome to everybody on Facebook, Rumble. No, I'm sorry. Facebook is down. It was down on YouTube, Rumble, and X. I see Afghanistan is in the house. Wow. Netherlands is in the house. Hrvatska, kako smo? Hrvatskoj. Croatia's in the house. England's in the house. Colorado, Chicago. All right, my friends. It is Super Tuesday in the United States, which means in our primary elections, for those of you who don't know how the system here works, so the parties have primary elections. It's a farce of a process. Well, surprise, surprise. But the parties have primary elections. And today, 15 states are electing their candidate that they want to send into the general election for president. So here's what happened this morning with social media.
So if you're having trouble logging into Instagram or Facebook, don't worry. It is not just you. Right now, Meta is experiencing massive outage that's impacting users across the country. Started around 10 this morning, so about 90 minutes ago, when folks reported issues logging in. The company has not said what's causing the problem or when things will be fixed. We'll continue to follow it throughout the day and keep you updated.
Yeah, so what are the chances that we have a massive, because Meta means Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp. So this affects billions of people in the world. What are the chances that you have a massive outage on Super Tuesday? Even if it didn't last all that long, we've been having problems. Yesterday, of course, over the last weeks and months, from AT&T to other providers, massive outages. Nobody really comes out and says what it was. We all know what it is. It's predictive programming. This is not happening by happenstance, friends. And I want to unpack this. I'm going to give you also my intuitive read on this, because this is mainly where things are going. There's simply no way of predicting exactly what's going to happen. But here's what it is. What is a certainty today? Donald Trump, for the Republican Party, he's going to, there's a 99% chance, let me put it this way, that he's going to get all 15 states and all the delegates needed for him to secure the candidacy. The circus that's going on around this in the United States is absolutely insane. The lawsuits, the lawfare. And before we go any deeper into the subject, here's what I encourage you to do. I encourage you to do there's three categories of people: the I love Trump people, the I hate Trump people, and the ones who are in a different box. What I encourage you to do is take off your I love Trump glasses, take off your I hate Trump glasses. Let's look at this from a perspective more of the outside of what does this actually mean for you and I and for everybody else. So here's what's happening in the United States currently. There's a massive war going on many fronts. And it is clear that there is a formidable, powerful group of people in this country and beyond who, under any circumstances, want to absolutely prevent Trump from securing the presidency. And here's the thing. He did it in 2020. There's now no more. Let's not beat around the bush. Again, that's not an I love or I hate Trump. That's just a fact. He won the election in 2020. There's no scientific doubt. Sorry, but that's what the facts are saying. Today, right now, he's absolutely by a margin never before seen winning the election if the election is today. If his opponent happens to be Joe Biden, there's not a snowball's chance in hell. So, what I see coming is probably unlike anything we've ever seen. There is a fear among a group of people that he will become president. I don't know what that means for them. I don't know why they fear it so much. There's so much to be said about what could happen when he becomes president. There's so much that could be said about who might be in the background pulling the strings. I'm not saying that. What I will tell you is that the sheer fact that he will be, without a doubt, the candidate for the Republican Party will cause a storm over the next weeks and months unlike anything we've ever seen, because of this group of people that seems to, that's the worst case scenario that can happen for them if he becomes president. So, internet outages, companies going down, social media going down, cell phone outages. I mean, I don't think there's anything that isn't on the table. This is literal insanity, because here's what it looks like from where I'm sitting currently. Either Trump gets his second term that the majority of people in the United States wanted him to have in 2020, and now even more people want him to have now. That is a fact. Whether you or I like it or not does not matter. That's how it is. So either he gets that because the people want it, or the fallout from him either being cheated or worse, that he's removed from this race in any other way, the fallout is unthinkable. Because then we are, in the eyes of a lot of people in this nation, in a nothing left to lose scenario. There is no hope beyond Trump in the political arena for these people in their perception. That's the last straw for them. You see, that's the last, because there's nothing on the horizon in their mind. And when there's nothing else on the horizon, and when the situation is as dire in many ways as it is now, then these people will jump into action. So, as it seems, this emboldened small group of powerful people that is still trying to pull the strings here, I think they will try to pull off some very bad things in order to either derail the elections, have them called off altogether. But all of this will lead inevitably to the same chaotic scenario. So there's a literal danger in the air here, and that needs to be sort of counteracted with a lot of peace, with a lot of balance and calmness on our part. That is really necessary, because if you think the summer of 2020 was bad, and it was, if you think the burning down of whole parts of cities, if you think, for crying out loud, people are talking about the January 6th. Has anybody talked about the full-blown occupation of Seattle? There was a full occupation of the city of Seattle. I mean, they just occupied a whole part of that city. But hey, the burning down of whole neighborhoods, the looting, the killing, the violence that has unfolded in the summer of love of 2020, I think it would pale in comparison if these people get their way. I am, on the other side, quite hopeful that more than enough people are seeing this for what it is and have awakened to these mass false flag events. And when enough people are aware that the outages and all the all the rocks that the machine might throw at the people are false flags when they see that. And when they already see it coming, when they are aware, when the people are aware, it's much harder for this small emboldened group of psychopaths to do these things. It is much harder because it draws so much attention. And this is just in addition, right? This is in addition to the worldwide tensions that we're seeing in this regard. So the whole point here is to be prepared for these scenarios and ask yourself the question, what would happen to your life and the life of your family if the internet happened to go down for days? We were just in a place where they had county-wide, or potentially beyond, because they don't like to share that information, county-wide constant internet outages. So it would go in and out, in and out, in and out, and sometimes out for hours. Now, what do you do? What do you need the internet for on a daily basis? What do you rely on fully? Where do you fully rely on social media? See, I think this is predictive programming. Them having the outage today could be predictive programming for later on down the road, maybe even election day. What would happen if on or before or during election day, all of social media goes down? What if cell towers go down? What if that prevents the election from happening? I'm just putting out the scenarios because these are all scenarios that have been thought through and planned out in the minds of certain people. And I loathe that we live in a time where all of this has become part of our normal thinking, the anticipation of these events, the ever increasing intensity of bullshit that's being thrown at the people in election years and now all the time, of course. It's horrible that we have to think that way, but we're going to get through this. And there is something else on the other side. We're going to get through this, and there's something else on the other side. And it isn't because the savior is going into the White House. There's no such thing as the savior figure out there that's going to fix things for us. There's no such thing. But here's the thing. Again, whether you and I like it or not, dude won in 2020, and he will. I mean, I don't currently see a scenario if this goes through where he won't win 2024. There's just, you drive through this nation. I have never seen, not even for pop stars or I've never seen such devotion and love and public affection for a president, former president, politician, interims president. What do I know what his current status really is? The way he travels, all the security, military protection, the Secret Service. I mean, you see Trump going down to the border and being there with Governor Abbott and having all the presidential honors. And then you see Biden go into the border on the same day and he's stumbling around with some Border Patrol agents. And you just go, what the hell's going on here? The prophecy might just be true that we currently do have some sort of a two-president, two-tier system. I don't know. This is not about liking. This is not about supporting. This is about understanding the scenario that we're in, understanding the predicament that we're in, and understanding what we need to prepare for potentially. Because this is an existential war. This is not just a war for another 4-year regular administration period. This is not the regular rivalries between two parties that are ultimately part of the uniparty of a system that all belongs to the same master. There's something deeper going on here, and everybody knows it. There's something much greater going on here, and everybody feels it. Now, we don't know exactly who belongs where and who does what, and what this war is about on all the levels. Because the way I see it, ultimately, this is a war for power over the next decades and century in this nation and beyond. This is definitely a transfer of power from one system to another, if you will. And we simply don't know. And anybody who pretends that they know exactly what we're dealing with on that level, I don't believe them. It's so nebulous. It's so foggy The moment that you think you know where someone belongs to and what team they play, I can guarantee you 2 weeks down the road, it's going to look different on purpose. It's on purpose. That's why we lead things back to ourselves. That's why in times like these, establish a real relationship with your creator. Number one, establish real relationships with the people around you, community, family. That's the thing that's most controllable. Control the controllables. Do what you can with what you have where you are. I don't put any faith or trust in a political process. None whatsoever. I don't count on anything that's going to come out of that process that will in any way, shape, or form support me and my family. If something positive will happen, good. But I don't count on it. I don't expect it to happen, no matter who wins what race. Not the way things stand right now. I much rather support and inspire a shift and a change where millions and millions and millions of people in this nation and in your nation as well are taking personal responsibility and becoming the change they actually want to see in their nation. That's what I put my faith in. That's what I put my inspiration in. But this political process is most definitely affecting all of us. And if you think there's something that's off the table that they wouldn't do, shall I remind you of what happened in 2020, 21, 22? Name the thing that they wouldn't do. There is not a thing that they wouldn't do. And they're holding on for dear life, and they're wanting to see their plan through. They're definitely weakening. People are jumping ship. People are jumping team cabal because they see that so many people are awakening, and they will be judged. They will be judged. They know that. They know that their day is coming, and they will be judged by their peers. And they're afraid of that. And people are repenting. People are shifting teams. I get all of that. But ask yourself, if regular life doesn't function anymore, and you can take the COVID era as a template, because a lot of things weren't functioning anymore, weren't open, weren't accessible. Now, probably in the United States, in most European countries, I would venture probably all of them, and other places in the world, nobody died of hunger because they couldn't get food during that era. Yes, that's probably true, but think this is a different scenario. But think what would happen if the internet's down, if phones are down, maybe even power outages. Think what would happen if you didn't have access to the most basic things that you have access right now, and prepare accordingly. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Don't fantasize about the things that you cannot do, but focus on the things that you can do. Can you be okay for 2, 3, 4 weeks? Just basic fundamentals, water, rice, a few maybe canned goods, whatever, or maybe you have more emergency food. So can you be okay if things go a little rough for a while? Because this is entirely possible. And more people are experiencing this because of the severe weather events, the fires, the hurricanes, the earthquakes. Acapulco is being now, they have earthquakes and fires, and they had that hurricane. It's more and more people are experiencing these kinds of situations and realizing we are in a very, very, very shaky time. And unless we acknowledge that, we can't really work on solutions. If we bury our heads in the sand and pretend this is not happening, it won't help anyone. But if we think our way through this, if we connect with our friends, families, neighbors, and whatnot, if we talk about these things, if we come up with solutions, guess what? You remain calm. You are somewhat prepared. You can't prepare for everything, but it helps if you start thinking about these things. I do think we're going to see more internet outages. I do think there's a potential for a black swan event in the next months. A black swan event being something that comes so out of the blue. It's usually financially connected, but let's just look at a scenario where beyond financial markets, a black swan event that's simply something that nobody had on their radar, but it is highly disruptive. It is highly disruptive. These psychopaths have sort of a book of tools or tricks, and they're going through all of them right now. And with every tool that they use, they're being more visible. It's becoming clearer. They are showing their hand, and they're getting removed, more and more of them. So, this is war. There's no other way of putting it. And I would encourage you to take it as war and accept that that's the situation we're in, because then we can actually work on the important solutions. And every day, yesterday, today, tomorrow, I will say this again. I know we'll come out on the other side of this. I know we'll get through this. We'll come out on the other side of this, and life will dramatically change. We will change it. It won't happen overnight, not even in a year or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. It will happen over a longer period of time, but we will see sort of, we'll see goals fulfilled along that path, and it will get better. It will get better. We're in the thick of it. And that just needs to be dealt with now. And we need to continually envision that future where all this madness is not part of our normal everyday life anymore. And the thing is, everyone can feel it. We don't have to come on here and sort of keep a scenario going. It is so strongly feelable that most everybody that doesn't watch channels like ours or doesn't read alternative media, that's just in the normal mainstream world, most everybody can feel that everything's off. The world is not what it used to be 5 to 10 years ago whatsoever. It's completely different. And ignoring that fact and simply saying, hey, we're just going to go to Disney World like we always did, and every Friday night we're going to the movies, and we're doing this and we're doing that, and we're just pretending everything's fine, that's not going to fix anything. Because the day will come where it comes to your door. And if you're completely unprepared, good luck. It's mostly a new way of thinking. Self-reliance, personal responsibility. You are the one responsible for your life. And if you have children, if you have a family, you're responsible for them. And this has been trained out of everybody for such a long time that people go, well, the government will take care of us, or the city or the council or whatever. No. They have continuity of government programs, not continuity of society. Remember, continuity of government programs do not include you or me or our families. They have their golden million. And those people have been or are going to get, when the time comes, they're going into their bases, and the government's going to be protected, and this gold million, and that is it. There is no continuity of society program. That's us. We are the continuity of society program. And we are in times where we need to think about things like these. If you don't want that, that's fine. That's on you. But don't come later on and say, nobody told you. Nobody told you. We are in these times. So, today, as I said, today, by the end of the day, it's going to be a massive victory for Trump. And that's going to trigger a whole new wave of responses. It's going to trigger a whole new wave of bullshit. And it's going to get so annoyingly intense. And they're going to just hammer this into people. And the more they hammer this into people, the more support the guy gets. It's like, you can't even make this up. With every lawsuit, with every bullshit that they throw at him, more people support him. By now, you should know that, that's like the biggest PR machine that he could have. And they're embracing it. They're riding that wave. His team, his campaign, they're riding that wave because they know that's how it goes. Well, I encourage you to do the adult thing. Take off the I love Trump glasses. Take off the I hate Trump glasses. Look at the situation from a bird's eye view. What is likely to happen in this nation and beyond? because of these events, because of these political events, because of what is unfolding. And how is it going to affect you and your family? That's the adult way of looking at this. And the rest is going to play out the way it's going to play out. We have no control over that. All right. By the way, I want to invite you. We have a community. When all the censorship, all the craziness hit in 2020 and beyond, we got approached by Locals, which is a censor-free sort of a video social media platform, if you will, but it's not like anything else really. And by far my favorite platform. And they said, "Hey, you want to come on?" And I said, "Okay, before we talk about anything, there's one promise you need to make us. No matter what we talk about, you'll never censor us." And they said, "That's a promise," and they've kept that promise. So it's our own little inspired community. It's like a little bubble on that social media platform. So if you feel like connecting with other like-minded people, if you want to post, if you want to share, if you want to watch our Coffee and Truth live streams, and sometimes we stream from on the road, and Christine and I do things together. It's more intimate, more personal. We want to invite you. Come over. Usually it's $7 a month or $70 a year for a discount. And right now you can give it a try for 1 month, completely free. Just use, and let me show you this here. It's all in here. You just use promo code TRY, the number 4, and free, and come for a month. Join us. We'd love to hear from you. Come to the live chat, comment, post your own stuff, connect with others. We always wanted this to be a hub where you can connect with other people from the Inspired Tribe, and people have, and they've formed friendships and businesses together, and it's beautiful. So hop over inspired.locals.com and use promo code TRY, the number 4, free, and you get a month completely for free, and check it out. We'd love to have you there. It as I said, it's by far our favorite community because you don't deal with all the bots, you don't deal with all the AI crap, frankly, that's unleashed on the channels here and on other platforms. It's just you and us and honest communication. Alrighty, my friends, much love, many blessings. Thank you for tuning in, and we can do this. Absolutely, I have no doubt. I have no doubt that we can do this, and we'll get out of this on the other side, and it will be a completely different world that we're creating. Much love to you. Many blessings. We'll see you soon.